Hello, Howe and Hoover. This is Mr. Hain. This is hopefully one of many videos that I'll be making down here in my studio to show you guys different projects, different drawing techniques that you can work on at home. Today, I'll be showing you how to make this drawing where we're going to focus on depth and space in our picture. As always, we're going to start with our pencil, then outline with our Sharpie. And for coloring, you can color anything you want. But you might want to use crayons for this one. Okay, let's get started. For this picture, we're going to be focusing on a couple of things. One is when you're creating depth in a picture, meaning that like these mountains are far away and it feels like I could go into the picture. Objects like the road moves up the paper. Okay, or like the cliffs, they're moving up. And really, if this is my focus point, or like my 1-point perspective that everything's zooming in on, my clouds are also funneling down to that same point. So when we start this, first thing I'm going to do is start with my cliffs on my edge. Somewhere near halfway of your paper, I'm going to have my line come out. And I'm going to kind of make these zigzag points. And again, like most things in nature, we don't want to have them be exactly the same. You want to have a variety of lengths and sizes. Kind of make your zigzag all the way down to the bottom. Have your last one end coming back off the paper. Then I'm going to make my other side the same way, but again, I might not make it the same height. I might start a little bit lower. Have my points, have some long ones, some short ones. Again, come with my point and back here. Now, each one of these points is the edge of the cliff, so what I want to do is draw my lines down, but again, they shouldn't be straight down because they're like broken off rock, so they might come in a little bit. This one would go here, that one comes down, this big one I'm going to bring in like that. Everywhere you have one of these points, you want to bring your lines down, even that small one back here if you can. So this one, this overlapping creates the illusion of depth, as if there's a big crack here in the earth. Now behind here, the horizon line is where like the sky meets the ground. So I'm going to have mountains, but I also need an area for them to be on. So I'm going to draw my line across here above my cliff, draw my mountains. I'm going to go with 3, maybe the tallest one in the middle. Actually, I'm going to do 4. Draw little snow peaks. Now, if you want, it's an option, is if you want to add a road in here, I'm going to draw like a little rounded hill, and then my road's going to start back here behind the mountains, and because when things get further away, they get smaller, so I'm going to start out with a really thin part of my road up here, and it's going to gradually, just a little bit, get a little bit wider. Then the other turn that comes over the hill, it's going to come down here, I'm going to make like an S shape. And again, it's going to get wider as it gets closer to me, so that you have a road going off in the distance. For clouds, again, your smaller ones are going to be near this kind of focal point. This is just versions of clouds I like to draw, where I draw the bottom part flat, then I just make kind of like a bubbly top to it. Have the other ones. And then they're going to get bigger as they get further away from that focal point. Okay? After it's drawn, take my Sharpie. I'm going to carefully outline all of those lines that I've made. Outline my road, outline my hill, outline your cliffs, and my clouds. Okay, now when you go to color it, the cliffs and the top of the rocks are what you want to focus on. You can pick any colors, but let's say I choose brown and let's see, like an orangish color that I might mix with. So actually, I'm going to choose green for the top, and then I might have brown for my sides. So when I'm coloring here with the green for like the grass, if I'm choosing not to draw any grass in and just coloring it, I can fill that in. Okay, and I would take my time and color in the whole thing. For our cliffs, if I choose brown, these areas that are closer to these inner points are going to be darker because there's going to be less sunlight that hits them. So what I'm going to do is just apply a little more pressure, go with circles with my crayon, and as I get further away from that point, I'm going to lighten up my pressure so that I have that illusion of like a dark shadow. I would repeat that process all the way down. If you want, you can add a little bit of orange, or you could use yellow as well to the outside edge, just to kind of give again that idea of some sunlight on it. Okay, for your grass down here, the same thing. I probably would not choose the same green if you're doing grass down here. You could pick, let's see, maybe I would make this grass up here actually either layered twice or using this more intense green, because as things get further away from us, the color intensity fades. So if I have a lighter green down here, again, it's going to allow more of that depth, like going away from us. Same thing for our sky. If I'm coloring with my blue, if I can find the right blue, okay, so I'm going to start, my lighter should be down here near the mountains. So I might block all that light blue in first so I know what I need to make darker. Taking your time to fill it all in. But up here at the top of the paper, it's actually going to be bluer, richer in color than it is down here at the bottom by the mountains. So then I can just kind of fade and keep that blue. If you want to go in and darken it up even more, you certainly can. Okay. All right. So that's our first video. I hope you guys like it. Please feel free to email me with any questions that you might have. And again, if you want to change this and use watercolors on it, or if you have oil pastels, that's all totally fine. This is just kind of like a fun video to get us started. All right. Thanks. See you guys.